Okay guys, I had a lot of questions on standard form yesterday. I got a lot of emails from you guys, so I wanted to make a quick video just kind of reviewing it a little bit. I know in the lesson video I touched on it real quick. So standard form is one of three ways we can write a linear equation, right? So it's got an x and a y, no exponents, and x and y are always either being added or subtracted, but they're never being multiplied. Okay, so this is just one way, and we'll go over the other two after this, but you should have already seen these in middle school, but we will go over the other two after this. So standard form here is ax plus by equals c, and a, b, and c are just plain numbers. They don't mean anything. Sometimes in an equation we talk like y equals mx plus b, and m is your slope, right? And we'll get into that later if you're not familiar with that. In this equation, a, b, and c aren't anything. They're just numbers. That's all it is. So we're going to work on looking at equations, identifying a, b, and c, and doing a little math with it. What you just need to remember for standard form is that x and y go on one side of the equal sign, and any other plain numbers with no variable go on the other side. This is what basic standard form is. X plus y, x always goes first, y always goes second. If the number in front of y is negative, this would say minus whatever y. That's fine. Just x and y. And then equals, and then any other plain numbers that don't have an x or a y. That's standard form, okay? So first I want us to look at a few equations and just identify a, b, and c. So I'm going to write these down here. We're just identifying a, b, and c. So we've got this guy. We've got this guy. We've got I got more here. I know you can't see them great. Start thinking about x, a, b, and c. We're just identifying the numbers a, b, and c, not x's or y's. Okay, so here I'm gonna put a little box around on the a's in red, okay? So a is always the number in front of x. A is always the number in front of x. So here in all these equations, they're all in standard form. So a would be 2. A equals 2, right? In number 2, the number in front of x is 9. So a would equal 9, right? What about number 3? There is no number in front of x. Remember, just saying x is like saying 1x. So when there's not a number there, it's really a 1. A equals 1. When you don't see a number, it's a 1. If it was a 0, there wouldn't even be an x here, because 0 times x would be 0, and that would just go away, right? Number 4, the number in front of x here is 7. Number 5, there is no number in front of x, so again, it's 1. I don't know why I did 2 of those. And number 6, the number in front of x is 4. Okay, so now let's go back and identify b in each equation. B is the number in front of y. So here, the number in front of y is 3. So b equals 3. Number 2, the number in front of y is 2. So b equals 2. Doesn't really matter what a, b, and c are. Again, they don't mean anything. We're just identifying them so you get more comfortable with standard form. Here, the number in front of y is 4. So b is 4. Here, there is no number in front of y. So when there's not a number, we know it's a 1. My blue pen's starting to die. So b equals 1. Number 5, we have 1x minus 2y. Now our formula has a plus sign in it, so if this somehow magically turns into a minus sign, it means it's saying x plus negative 2y. right? And when we have plus negative, we change it to a negative. So this minus actually goes with the 2. When there's a minus sign, the negative sign stays with the number there. So here, b equals -2. My pen's dying. Same thing here. There's no number in front of y, so we know it's a 1. And since it's a minus sign, it stays with the number in front of y, so it's really a -1. Let me go back to my black pen. b equals -1. The number in front of y is so if there's a minus sign in between x and y, that minus sign stays with b. Okay, so now let's go back and identify c. C should be the plain number on the other side of the equal sign. So here it's 12. C equals 12. Number 2, 14. Number 3 equals 16. C is 16. Number 4 equals 8. So C is 8. Number 5, x plus y equals 7. So C is 7. And number 6, it's a 0, but that's okay. 0 is still the plain number on the other side of the equal sign. So here, C is 0. You don't say, well, there's not a C. No, the number here, ax plus by equals C, excuse me, the number here is C. C is 0. Okay, so hopefully that kind of helps you identify a little bit better. The formula has a plus sign in it. So if there's a minus sign here, it's because we added a negative number. So the minus sign stays with the number in front of y. So A, B, and C are just numbers in front of x, y, and then on the other side of the equal sign. If there is not a number in front of x or y, we know it's a 1. Okay? All right, secondly, I want to work on actually putting an equation, a linear equation, in standard form. Okay, so we're going to do a few of these. So here, I'm going to start over with number 1. I'm going to give you y equals -2x plus 4. Okay, so how do I know this is a linear equation? Because it's got an x and a y, no other variables, nothing has an exponent, and x and y are not being multiplied together, right? Some spot on my paper here. So here, this is a linear equation. So I want to put it in standard form. Remember, standard form is when x and y are on the same side of the equal sign, and any other numbers I have besides x and y's, even if they have a number in front, any other plain numbers I have not attached to a variable go on the other side of my equal sign. So here, x and y are on two different sides of my equal sign. I want to get x over here. So I'm going to get rid of it here. I'm going to add 2x. Whatever I do on one side of my equal sign, I have to do to the other. And these go away. So I'm left with just 4. Bring down my equal sign. And here I have y plus 2x. And then in standard form, of course, x has to go before y. So I'm just going to flip-flop these two terms. So this is positive 2x, positive y. Just going to flip-flop them and say 2x plus y equals 4. So now this is in standard form. The number in front of x here is a. The number in front of y, which there's not one, so we know it's a 1, is b. And the plain number on the other side of the equal sign is c. Once an equation is in standard form, you should be easily able to identify a, b, and c. Let's do another one. Number 2. This one is 5x equals 10y minus 20. Okay? Excuse me. I know it's a linear equation because I have an x, I have a y, there's no exponents, and x's and y's aren't being multiplied to each other. So I can rearrange this to get x and y on the same side of the equal sign. So here's my x, I want to get y over there. So minus 10y, minus 10y. These go away. 5x minus 10y equals, and then this is minus 20, so this is a negative 20. And now it's x plus y equal ax plus by equals c, where a is 5. The number in front of y is b, and it's negative, so that negative sign stays with the number. And then the plain number on the other side of the equal sign here is c. There's no x's or y's attached to it. I hope this is helping you guys. I have a rule now that we're going to look at. Okay, here's the only rule for all of this. Rule A, the number in front of x, can never be, A can never be negative, and it can never be a fraction. So A, the number in front of x, can never be negative or a fraction. Can't be either one. So let's work on, let me grab another sheet of paper, a couple examples of that real quick. A, the number in front of x, can never be negative. In standard form, it can't be negative and it can't be a fraction. So let's first try. I'll just put example, I don't know what number we're on. Y equals 1/4 x plus 2. All right, we want to change this into standard form. Okay, so I want x and y on the same side of the equal sign. Right now they're not. So I need to, here's my x. I can either subtract 1/4 x from both sides and it would cancel here, and then I would have negative 1/4 x here. I don't want the number in front of x to be negative. So I'm going to leave this alone and I'm going to move y. Okay, so I'm going to say minus y, and over here, it doesn't really matter where I write it, minus y, these go away. 0 equals 1/4 x plus 2 minus y. I have x and y on the same side of the equal sign now. Now I need to get this plain number over here. That's my c, okay? So minus 2 minus 2. Negative 2 equals 1/4 x minus y. All right, I've got x and y on the same side of the equal sign, my plain number with no variables on the other side. I'm going to go ahead and just flip-flop the sides of the equal sign so it's in standard form. So I'm going to take all of this and write it first. 1/4 x minus y equals, and then I take this side and put it on the other side. If they're both equal, it doesn't really matter which side of the equal sign they're on, right? This is the same thing as this. Okay, so now I've got this. It looks like I'm done, right? Except the number in front of x cannot be a fraction. So to get rid of this fraction, I'm going to multiply by whatever the denominator is. Okay, and I can't just multiply this term because then that changes what the whole equation is. The equation is 1/4 x minus 1y equals negative 2. I can't just change this and make this different and keep everything else the same because then it won't be the same equation, right? I want to keep everything equal to what it is now. I just want to make it look different. So I'm going to multiply the entire equation, both sides of my equal sign. I could have done it this way and then separate this way, that's fine. But I'm multiplying everything by whatever the denominator is here. So 4. Okay, so then I'm going to distribute. I'm going to multiply that side of the equal sign by 4, and then, here, let me just write it separate. And then I'm going to multiply this side of the equal sign by 4. Whatever I do on one side, I got to do to the other side. Okay, so 4 times 1/4 would give me 4/4, which is just 1. So I've got 1x, bring down my minus sign. 4 times y is 4y. Bring down my equal sign. Negative 2 times 4 is negative 8. So this is in standard form. So now the number in front of x, that's my a value. The number in front of y has a negative with it. That's my b value. And the number on the other side of the equal sign, that's my c value. Kind of makes sense? This was already, this way right here looks like standard form, but our rule says the number in front of x, that a value, cannot be a fraction. Let's do one where it's negative. I'm almost done, I promise. All right, so I've got negative 5x plus y equals 10. Well, this looks like it's in standard form, right? Number in front of x is negative 5, number in front of y is just 1, and the number on the other side of the equal sign, our c value, is 10. The only problem is here a is negative, and a cannot be negative in standard form. So how do I change that? All I'm going to do is to change the sign, and that's it. I'm going to multiply everything by negative 1. Because if I multiply a negative times a negative, it becomes a positive. And whatever I do to this term, I got to do to everything the same way. So I'm going to multiply this whole side by negative 1, and I have to multiply this whole side by negative 1. So I'm going to distribute this negative 1. Negative 1 times negative 5x is positive 5x. Bring down my plus sign. Negative 1 times positive y is negative 1y. And over here, 10 times negative 1 is negative 10. Okay, and the only thing I can simplify is this little area now. 5x, when I have plus and minus, it just becomes a minus. If I have 1y, I can just write y, negative 10. Okay, so now my a value is not a fraction, it's not negative. My b value is really negative 1, right? And my c value is negative 10. So b and c, it doesn't matter if they're fractions or if they're negative or positive. It doesn't matter. It only matters with a. A cannot be a fraction and it cannot be negative. Hopefully that helps you guys. If you have any more questions, let me know.